Marston's Domain.
Hey everyone, Marston here, and today I want to talk about the Pokemon Direct that was just announced, because this kind of came out of nowhere, and I think a lot of us were expecting a plain Nintendo Direct, not one dedicated to Pokemon. So I wanted to discuss what I think may be in this. So to start this off, I don't think it's just going to be really small minor tidbits in Pokemon Sword and Shield, because with how that game has been, in terms of how some fans reacted with the game, they know that people who own it feel however they feel about it, and by adding little tiny things, it's not going to really change anyone's opinion on the game, and I don't really think it's going to build up any hype, because as it is, I mean, they've been doing dedicated raids at certain time intervals, and they just tweet them out. So I don't think it's going to be anything minor like that, but if they do something with Sword and Shield, I know this is a bold statement, and I don't want to say this is for sure, because most likely it will not happen, and I know that people are already typing up a storm about to say that they've already said that they don't plan on doing this, but I would not be surprised if maybe they add some more of the National Dex to the game. I think the chances are very slim. I still think that down the line, with either a new iteration of Sword and Shield or whatever, that they may add more to the National Dex. But regardless of that theory, there's a slight chance. If it doesn't happen, I will not be surprised. But if they do talk about Sword and Shield, I really feel like they'll showcase more Pokemon being added to the National Dex. Because anything else that they could possibly talk about with the game, I feel like would not build up any hype and would not really get people who already own the game to care. People who own the game that like it, they like it. I don't think there's small little things that they could do that would get people super hyped about it. The National Dex, to me, is really the only thing that they could do that would get people to be like, whoa, this is insane. So that's just if they talk about Sword and Shield. There's a chance that they won't talk about it at all, but I think that's kind of unlikely because it's huge right now, and I'm sure they want to keep that hype going. The other things that they may talk about, which this is where I still kind of can see them talking about the National Dex, because this would be underwhelming for most people, is that Pokemon Sleep thing. Because normally they separate the mobile game stuff, but considering how much connectivity there's been when it comes to Let's Go and Pokemon Go and all this stuff, they may mention it, but a lot of people would not care, and they normally do keep that kind of stuff separate, from what I remember, because the last time they talked about it, it was at a totally different type of event. But one thing that I think they will talk about in this, and I think it's pretty much guaranteed, is Pokemon Home. I think they will definitely talk about this, and that's where it could get interesting, because they'll probably have something with it to promote not only Pokemon Home, but Pokemon Sword and Shield. That's where I still think there is a chance of them adding more to the National Dex. This video might get tons of dislikes because of my theory on that, but I'm someone that I don't care what they tell us. There have been countless times where Nintendo has said something, or Sakurai has said something, or whatever, and I make a video talking about how I don't think that's going to happen. And then I get tons of comments saying, they've already said this, why would you think that? And I leave it alone, and sure enough, they ended up not, I don't know if you'd call it lying, but I still see it as a business. So it's either they just straight up lie, or they're careful on their wording, so it's like, well, we didn't necessarily say that. Sometimes they straight up lie. I mean, they straight up said that the DS was not a successor to the Game Boy Advance. Are you serious? We all knew it was going to be. It's just a failsafe. They say that in case the other product fails, then they're like, well, like we said, it wasn't a successor. The DS had a port to put Game Boy Advance games in. It was clearly a successor. That's a part where that's just a straight up lie. And it's just a part of them being a business. They want to play it safe. I'm not saying that it's okay to just lie because it's a business. My point is that I look at it as a business. So when they say these things, I'm not taking them as they're saying it. I'm taking it as, okay, they're a business. What do they actually mean? So I think that this Direct could have something big. There also could be, if they avoid the whole National Dex thing, the only other thing that I could see them doing is maybe they're already making another Let's Go game for another Pokemon version. Because those games sell well, and I don't think they're stopping with just the first one. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get some sort of announcement like that too. But in terms of my predictions, that's all I got. I think that we're going to get some form of any of the things that I mentioned. Again, like I said, if there is no National Dex talked about, I'm not going to be shocked. This isn't like a I'm 100% sure thing. I just have a feeling that it could happen. And I'm not even saying this to get people's hopes up. I just really do feel like they're not going to keep that game the way that it is forever. I just don't. And I think that they've just been careful about it because maybe they don't plan on adding the whole Dex, but I don't see them not adding any at all. It really doesn't make sense to me. So that's all I have to say about this. Let me know in the comment section down below and what you think about all this. If you think I'm way off, if you think I'm right about some of the stuff, or whatever your predictions are, let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and want to support my content, feel free to subscribe. And until next time, I'll see y'all later. Take care, everyone.